Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always thank you for the support. Really do appreciate it. So today I thought I'd go back to the Hunkydory Furry Friends, which is the members free gift, which is currently on offer. Basically, as long as you are a member of Hunkydory, you can pick up this kit for absolutely free. I am using the insert and printed paper, which does come as a larger pack that you do pay a bit for. And I've got the glitter, I've got some glitter card, but that came from Crafter's Companion. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that to the side for a second. And I'm going to start by bringing in my scoreboard, Hunkydory. Now I've got two pieces of card. I've got a 6 by 12 insert, and I've cut a piece of the same, not an insert, it's a card blank, and I've cut a piece from the same card, and this is 6.5 by 6. And I'm going to score this at 6 inches and at 3. And the larger one I'm going to score at 3 and 6. So basically what I'm going to be doing is a double fold back card. So the first thing I'm going to do is just to burnish those down a second. It's just going to make it a little easier for me later on. And then with that one, and then that's my tab to attach this onto here. So I'm going to grab myself a little bit of red liner tape, the super sticky. I'm just going to pop a little piece on there, and I'll use some tacky glue as well. This one is a little bit thinner than I would like. I've got a really thick one. I've got the right size, but it's just not in the craft room at the minute, so I will make do with this one. A little bit of tacky glue all the way around. Swap that out of the way. And then I'm just going to line this up. My card. I just want that nice and straight. Now when I fold that in, hopefully it should pretty much be in the middle. Okay. So the next thing I need to do is to take my ruler, and I've got a pencil here. And from this top edge, I'm just going to mark that at 3 inches. And I'm going to do exactly the same on this other side here. And then if I grab the trimmer, and I'm going to cut from this little notch that I've made here all the way up to the back of the card. Okay, so it's just a question of manoeuvring it in my trimmer so that I've got the top corner here, and then I want it on here, so that's the cut there, and then exactly the same on here. I might have to do it from the other angle though, so there we go. Straight across there. And then what I've got is fold back card like goes like so. Okay, so I decided I wasn't going to be using any gold mirror on this. I wanted to use this glitter card, which is quite a deep pink, but it goes with both the paper, and it also goes with the card that I'm going to be using as well. So that's why I chose that one. So I'm going to come in my usual 2 notches under the 6. So that piece. Oops, on there. Let's move that out of the way. And then this needs to be 2 notches under the 3. I think that's going to be too small, so it's going to be, no, no, it's exactly right, look, so that's worked out quite well. Just neaten that up. Okay, so this one is going to be 6 by the 2 notches under the 6 to start with. So if we start there, and then what I'm going to do on the back, if I bring my ruler back in, no, wrong ruler, let's go with that one. So this sort of incline here, because the whole thing is 3, so this is 1.5. Okay, so I've already cut that 2 notches off my 6. I probably would have been better off doing this before I did the 2 notches off. What I'm going to do is just go, so take that the 2 notches up, and then I'm going to mark that at 1.5. And then I should be able to cut from that corner to that mark, and hopefully I should have the correct angle for this one. And I have. So I will just need to just trim a little bit off the bottom. Oops. And keep these little bits for butterflies and things. Let's see how that sits. And that sits nicely. And then again on this piece here, remembering that I have to do the cut this way on this one. But that's going to be 4.5. So if I go, actually I'm just going to do it at the 4.5, and then bring in my ruler again. And so we need to be cutting from this side here, so I'm going to mark this at 1.5 again. And then just cutting that from that corner again down. And we should just need to trim the bottom piece. So I'm just going to take, probably should be maybe 3 notches, but I'm going to go with the 2 to start, because obviously it's easier to cut more off than add it on. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the other pieces. So we'll need another piece of glitter. So it's going to be exactly the same. So it's going to be the 2 notches under the 6 by the 3, and then cut 1.5 off, and then the 4.5 by 3 and cut the 1.5 off. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Bear with me. Okay, so I've got those bits done for there as well. Okay, so then for the back, I've already cut an insert to size. I use my other trimmer just because the paper doesn't cut so well on this one. So that's the insert that will go into there, and I'm also going to use this border. So for these side pieces here, I wanted to use this pattern paper. Oops, let's move that over. So for these, I need 2 pieces that are going to be 4 notches under 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 3. And then again, I'm going to have to mark these down. So if I turn them over, I'll do the first one here at 1.5. So I'll cut across that diagonal again. side. So again, just lining that mark up with that corner. So I'm making sure the corner is right in the centre of that groove. And then if I grab, it's going to be this one. So we're just going to cut that down so that that fits. And I think this was 4.5. That is 6 minus the 2. So if I go to, on the long side, 6 minus 4 notches. Hopefully that should be nice all the way around, and it is. So I'm just going to bring that long side out, and I'm going to do exactly the same with the other piece there, just making sure that I'm cutting on the other diagonal, so bear with me while I do that. Okay, and then lastly, let's take some out of here as well. So again, I'm going to cut that down to 4 notches under the 3, and I will need 2 pieces. And then I just need to decide which bit I'm cutting down. I think probably going to make sense to have the flowers. Otherwise we are going, if I go from the top, it's going to look a little weird with these flowers there. So first of all, what I'm going to do is cut these down pretty much to the length. So I'm going to cut them to 4.5 minus 2 notches. So it still gives me a bit of room to play with, because I haven't taken my extra 2 notches off for the layer. So I don't mind if I lose a tiny bit off the bottom. Okay, and then what we need to do is just to cut these tops down again. So I'm just going to put a little mark on the side there, just so I know I'm cutting across this way. And if I bring my ruler back again, it's just more of the same. Popping my ruler on, and actually I did quite a good mark there. So I'm marking at the 1.5, making sure that's in the little center part of my cut line, and cutting across, and then just seeing how that sort of fits onto there. It does look good. So I'm just going to take, it's probably going to be about 3 notches off the bottom. Let's see how that looks now. I need to take a tiny bit more. Get that out of the way. I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same with this other piece here. Okay, so I've got all my bits now. So now I can start to assemble. So I am going to start with this back piece. Now this glitter card, it is actually self-adhesive. So I am going to risk it. And normally I wouldn't. I'd just glue it on anyway. But I'm just going to peel it back a little bit. I'm going to pop that. So I'm going to make sure that I'm moving about with these 3 bits that aren't actually got any adhesive on. And I can go over, smooth that down. And hopefully, if the gods are with us, good. Okay, so because I'm going onto that glitter card, I am going to use some PVA. That's on there, and I'm hoping it's not going to show through with this being just an insert. So I'm just going to give it a really good smooth down, and hopefully that should be fine. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put this foil bit in there in a bit anyway. Okay, so I'm going to start with this panel here. Again, the same thing. I'm going to turn it upside down. Going to take back off, she says. Trouble with having no nails now. There we go, so we can pop that off, fold it over, because I'm now coming in at a different angle to the one I was before. So I'm just going to, like I did before, just make sure I've got that nowhere near any of my score lines. Make sure my borders are about as even as I can get. Smooth that down and then peel that back. And then you get one go with that. So let's go to the other side. And just repeat. I'm going to do that on all of these 4 pieces. Let's get that one out of the way. Let's turn this around this way. I think it's going to be easier because the 3 corners that I'm moving around are then where I can play with them. So again, give that a good smooth down and then just super gently let that go into where it needs to go. And then we've got these other 2 pieces here. Let me pop those there before I lose them. And this is this one. Oops, just get that back off. And the good thing about using this, I guess, is that, you know, it is super stuck. It's down. The only bad thing is that there's no, you get one chance to put it down, you know. And I think I've said this on, I've used this on 2 videos. And both of them I've said, oh, and you know, always goes wrong. And like the last video went really well. So maybe I've got the technique down. Maybe I haven't. We'll see how it goes. So there's that one. And then the last piece of glitter. And this is quite a strong colour, so it's quite nice to sort of cover it up. Just have that little bit of it coming through, so that it's not too in your face. There we go. I'm happy with that. Okay, so like I say, looking pretty sparkly at the moment. So again, so that's going to go that way, that's going to go that way, that's going to go that way, that's going to go that way. Okay, so I think I am, with this paper, I think I am going to come in with the all-purpose glue, just purely because I want it to set really well, but I am going to put a bit of tacky glue just around the edges, just to make sure that A, sticks down real fast for me, and 2 is just, if I put both the glues on there, I know it's going to be fine. So just got a little bit of wiggle time there. We'll go with that. Just a little higher border there, but not too bad. And I'm going to do exactly the same here. All-purpose glue, a little bit of tacky glue all the way around, and then we can pop that on. down. And same again. We had a massive thunderstorm today, so, and oh my goodness, it did rain, blimey. I did put a bucket under my neighbour's guttering leak, so you know, it's cleaning or something. I'm not quite sure. I'm no guttering expert, but it just leaks a lot. So my water butt has been empty, so I just sort of emptied it the other day. So I had this sort of big black trug thing, so I put that under where this thing leaks, this gutter leaks. I thought, oh well, I'll catch that water, and it filled up in 5 minutes. That's how much water was coming off the roof. And it's not small, it's, you know, it's probably about 70 centimeters tall. It's a really big trug. I mean, it's brilliant for me because it means I've got plenty of water for a little while without having to use up my hose or anything. So those bits are just poking up, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of PVA on there. Okay, so let's snip this border out. And I'm going to bring my trimmer back in because I want that cut to size. Let's just move that over. And I'm just going to go 2 notches. Actually, let's straighten that up nice and straight. And 2 notches under the 6, just to keep it away from any of the fold lines. It's just going to bring that bit of detail in at the top here. Okay, so this will go on with PVA. I don't want that to be raised because I don't want it to affect how the card closes. So let's just put that to there. Okay, and then we can look at our toppers. So I was kind of thinking that this one might be a little bit too big, so we'll just pop it out, see what it looks like. So if we take the big frame away for a second, and then we could have this one on the centre with that raised and things, and then with this one, would we be able to pop that inside on there? Let's see what we would see of it. Would it look out of place? We could try, let's try. Look, so try and get his little ear in, so because I can always trim it down a little bit. Okay, so that would work. So what I'm going to do is just make a little pencil line there and there, and I know I need to take a little piece off here. So if I bring my trimmer in, it just means that the frame gets used up. And I could always put that on the other side if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but you've got that option there. So I'm going to turn this over just so I know I've got it flat. And have I got the right side? Yes, I have. I just want to take just that little smidge off the side, just so that it is not on the fold line, but I've still got my bunny in it. Let's have a little look at that, and then I think that should be hidden underneath. Yes. Okay, so I hadn't planned that with this frame, but it's worked out quite nicely. So I'm going to just grab my scissors and just a little pip there that was annoying me at the top. So I'm just going to pop some PVA on because again it's going flat, just need to line up those edges with the bottom there. And that's my inside. And then we've got this bit. So thinking I want some, so I could go raised like so. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a little mark around about there. And a little mark around about there. So basically I know this is where my foam pads are going to go. So I'm going to bring in, I want some fine borders, so these should be fine. These are probably about a 2mm, and I'm just gonna pop that down to there. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that to go around the corner. No, I'm not. Maybe I'm not being forceful with it enough, but that's that. Okay, and then if I stop dropping it and just peel these off. Now if you want to, you can put sort of a little bit of foam on this other side, just so that when it sits against the card it sits even. I don't think I need to do that. It's just leave the back on. So let's just check where I put that to. So I'm trying to get this centre part right where those sort of pips are, or where I can just see the pips. I just want to put those so that they are right in the centre of my card. Okay. And then again with this one, I want it raised. So if I pop that in, and I pop a little line down there, then I know where it's this side. Yeah. And I want to go a little higher with those, so I am going to use, I think, some Crafter's Companion ones if I can. Grab those, otherwise I will have to double pad. Okay, so here we go. These are the tiny ones though, and one this side. So, and the reason why you don't want to put the pads all the way around it is because if you do that, when you stick it down, obviously your card's going to be shut. So what we want is for the card to be able to be opened. You've still got that bit of space there to be able to do your happy birthday or whatever there. So let's just check. Feels good. So I tend to just, once I've got my pads on, just give it a little push like that, just to make sure it feels like it's evenly supported. So it just, I always feel it stands a really good chance of staying straight on your card then. So just getting those backs off. And again, just coming in with the glue. And this bit's nice and easy because all you need to do is pop that down and then pop this in. Hopefully I shouldn't have anything showing that side, and I haven't. Okay, so there's our card there. Oops. It's just because I've got that glue on there that's moving. Okay, so now we can think about sentiment. So we've got a nice bit of space here, we've also got some space here, or we've got spaces here. So I was thinking maybe using more than one sentiment. So we've got this one which is quite bright, and then maybe this one with the happy birthday. So let's come back here, you. I think that kind of disappears in there if I pop that down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise this up so that it's pretty much going to be on the same level there, so it's going to support. Just wondering whether to put both of them on here. Let's have a little look. So we've got our Just For You, because we've got gems as well. It's the I think that kind of works better that way, I think, maybe, even though it is clashing a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to go there, and then obviously we'll have some gems here, and we'll have a few gems on there as well. Okay, so if I come in with some of this, oops, foam pad, I think that should be plenty there. And I'm not going to go any higher than the first layer, just because I don't want to push this gold border out of shape. Okay, so we're just going to pop. Let's go around back there, I think. And then with this one, and once you've got the actual card bit done, it's sort of down to you on how you want to decorate it, really. You know, it's as much or as little. I mean, you could have the tags with the bow, with a bow behind, anything like that, really. Okay. Oops, what's on there? There we go. So when it comes to the actual, let's just trap it in there. When it comes to the actual gems, so you've got a couple of choices really, because we've got the yellow and we've got the purple and we've got the red. So I did pull a load of different colours out. I kind of, my first thought was really the purple, because we've got the purple, there's quite a lot of purple in it. I think the red is a bit too bright. Green might be nice, with that sort of pale green. Well, I think I'll use the greens on here, and then we're just going to bring those all back together. So I'm going to come in 3 little tabs of glue. I'm going to go with the big, the medium, and the little widgy tiny ones. And I have got one of these little mini daubers, so let's just take away a little bit of glue. That's fine. And I'm just going to make sure they're spaced nicely. Yep. And then for these, so we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think what I might do, and I'm not going to do it all over, but just on these ones that are showing, I'm going to pop a little red gem into the centre of these flowers. So I'm just going to rely on the glue that's on them. Hope for the best. So that's that one, and then we'll bring that round just to this other side. These are the perfect size to go in there. Now if you want to, you can do the whole thing. I've only got 2 left, so that's not going to be possible, even if I wanted to. But that's my first card, so it's going to sit like so. So it's a double fold. Did the slope, just for a little bit of interest. So my borders are not exactly perfect, I have to be honest with you, but I think if you look at all the cards online, you'll see that they're the same. So it's going to be almost impossible to get them absolutely spot on, but it doesn't detract from the card in any way. Okay, so that still would look gorgeous on a shelf. So for the second card, just because I knew that would take quite a fair amount of time, I'm just going to go with my favourite 6x6. Though technically that is a 6x6 and would go in a 6x6 envelope, that last card. So we're going to come in with my trimmer, and this is going to be quite a quick card really. I'm going to grab some gold. I've not planned it out in any way, I just knew I was going to do a sort of flattish card. So 2 notches under the 6, and I'm just wondering whether I want to use this piece up. What have we got in the way? Yeah, I might well do. So what I'm going to do, first of all, let's cut that down to size long ways. Let's not cut the teddy bear off because that kind of defeats the object. So 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 6. I'm going to cut that across there, and then I'm going to cut that to 1, 2, 3, 4 notches under the 6. Then we can attach this back on with a little bit of ribbon. Okay, let's pop that out the way. And I did bring in some yellow ribbon beforehand. I've got some blue. The blue looks better. I think I'm going to go with the yellow. Okay, so let's start to assemble this. So I'm going to do this bit first of all so we can tuck that ribbon behind everything. So I am going to be using my all-purpose, but just being careful not to let it splurge out onto my mirror, because you know what will happen. It will take that mirror off, that shine off. Sometimes if it does splurge out, if you do just let it dry, because it dries clear, you hardly notice it. So sometimes it's better if that happens. If it's not a huge amount, if it is a huge amount, it's worth sort of just taking it off and starting again with another piece. But if it's not a huge amount, if it's just a tiny little bit, sometimes you can just get away with, like I say, just letting it dry, and it will dry clear. So I'm going to grab some red tape, and I can use the thick one on this one. So I'm just going to cut a nice big piece, just making sure I've got that border at the top nice and straight, and just being careful that it doesn't move, because obviously we've used that all-purpose glue, which, you know, we can't trust it not entirely to move straight away, so we just have to be a little bit careful. So I'm just checking that stain seems to be behaving itself. So let's peel the backs off here. And if I rest those on my scissors so the glue doesn't touch my mat, then I'm just going to get that the right way. Tuck that behind. Not doing any more than that, not doing any bows I don't think, I've not planned, although I have got enough there if I do want to, but I just wanted a little bit of ribbon on there to pretty that up. And we're going to do it as a tent fold, so let's go ahead, put plenty of glue on the back, especially over that ribbon, and I'm going to pop some PVA in the corners just for that quick stick. I'm also going to pop some over that ribbon as well. Got quite a whiff of the alcohol glue in that time. Doesn't usually happen, but there you go. So let's give that a little press down. Just make Making sure that's well stuck down. There we go. So I mean, that as it is, you could leave that as it is, and it just come in with some tags, and then maybe put him on the inside on the insert. Let's just see. Let's pop. Where's my putty tool gone? Oh, we'll use the back of that. So I'm just going to pop the centre of this out. So I say I'm not going to use any more ribbon, and then I do. Okay. I kind of want it. I think I want. We could do two separate ones. We could just do the one there. Yeah, let's go with that, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and just tie. Let's do slightly different bows. So if we pop it, if it behaves itself, we'll pop it through. Tile or not. Let's see if we can do a little bow on the top. So usually I don't. I did this the other day and it worked, so we'll see what it comes out like. So it's just a question of getting that to sit in the right place. And getting that to behave itself. That's right, so it's gone away. Let's have a look. No, I'm not liking that. So the other way we can do, so fold it in half, just squidge that up, and we'll pop that through the back way. Open it up, pop the other ribbons through, and we get a nice little finish like that. So we're just going to go like that. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is bring some. Let's use one of these pads. I think you might have to double pad it because I do want it quite nicely raised. So we'll just whip that back off and put the other half of that pad on top. So that's probably going to be about 4, maybe, yeah, it's probably going to be about 4mm. So we're going to pop that on that ribbon. There, I might just trim these ribbons down a little bit more so that they're within the realm of my card. Just get to that bit there. I'm going to bring in, before I go any further, grab a little piece of paper. You might hear a clatter where something falls on the floor. And I'm going to bring in, where should we go with this? So it's iridescent, so whatever colour we put on, whatever colour we put it onto, it will just highlight it. So I'm just going to go around this cute bit, just roughly around. Do some of these flowers as well. And there's a little paw there. We'll just do some of those flowers. And just a piece of white card, white paper, just to catch anything we're not using. And this is the Deco Art Glamour Dust, and I love this. This is like my favourite glitter. I mean, I've got loads of glitters that are different colours, but this is the one I use the most. So that will, when that's dry, we'll be able to just give that a little brush off. But you can see, I think, hopefully it'll catch in the light. Look at that little hint of the glitter there. So let me just pop that over. Over there for a second, and we will pop that away in a minute. Okay, so we've got this piece here. I'm going to grab my pack with these in. This is and I'm just going to grab an insert. So we've got a watering can. It's a teddy bear. So let's see if we can find watering can teddy bear. We might have to have one with the cake. The whole thing. Ah, look at that. So exact matching one. So that's there. Let's put that on top there carefully. And this is generally how I store my kits at the moment. So I just buy some cheap PVC wallets and then try and keep the kits together. It seems to be working for me at the moment. So I'm not going to trim this down as such. What I'm going to do, so it's just under, I think it's 11.5. Yep. So half of 11.5. So half of 10 is 5. So it's going to be 5.5 and a quarter. So it's going to be 5 3/4. So if I pop this on and then just very gently pop a little score line down, and we can just fold it over. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to give it a shot with cutting with this. It doesn't always work so well. I might need to go to the other one. So this is at 5 3/4. There. So 5. Oh, we don't cut the bear off. That's all right. Okay. So as you can see, when I cut it on here, it kind of feathers a little bit. So I can either put it through my other trimmer, or I can grab my metallic ruler. Just put it super close to the edge, so I'm not taking anything off really. Just use my scalpel to go down those two edges. Like so. I think that's fine. Okay, let's go back. So let's open this up. The inserts opening the other way. Okay, change of plans. So let's just grab my ruler back. Just going to cut that at that. I'd forgotten that I'd done a 10-fold. So menopause. You've heard me say it before. It's lots of fun, guys. You're going to enjoy it so much when you get there if you haven't already. Put that insert there. And then what I can do is just pop a little bit of PVA along there. I do tend to just smush it down a little bit because I don't like it to leave lumps. And then I'm just going to pop that in near the top. Give it a little press down. So it's going to be loose, like as if it was a posh card. Oops, why is that stuck there? Let's add a little bit of glue. Okay, so we were going to put this bit on, so we can come in, and it will be flat just because we don't want it to affect how the card is opening. Or we could leave that as it is and pop this on the back. So let's do that instead. So pop it on nice and straight, that'll be quite nice. Okay, then last thing, gems. Now for this one, I thought I would go with the clear ones. Okay, so again, that glitter will dry clear, so let's just clean that nozzle a little bit. And I'm just going to put 2 there. I'm going to go with the medium ones. I don't want them too big. I just want them to pick up that colour from behind. So I've got gems that are gold, but I didn't want gold on there. Okay, so that's there. And then I'm just going to put 1 down in this corner, again with medium. I'm going to put 1 in this corner here. Like so. And then last one, just going to pop a blob of glue in this hole. And I think I probably should get away with a smallish one. Probably would be better with the 3D glue gel. Might swap that. Oh no, I can see it sticking. So I can see the glue sticking to it. Okay, so those are the 2 cards that we've done today. So we've done a sort of concepty one with the fold back, double fold back. And then we've got this sort of super cute quick one, really, just using that last bit of foiled card that, you know, it's got a perfectly lovely image on, and it makes a nice card. You don't, you know, you don't have to do too much to these. That's the beauty of a Hunkydory kit, really. And I think everybody says the same. You know, you can't really go wrong with them unless your cutting is completely awful. But get yourself a decent trimmer and make sure you're buttoning it up to the guides, and you know that shouldn't be a problem. Just gets slightly more difficult when you're doing things like this where there's angles, but you know, like I say, it doesn't draw your eye to it. You get the overall effect of it. So, and at the end of the day, these things, they're handmade, you know, it's taken you time to put them together, and people do appreciate that. They won't see the little things that you will criticise yourself for. So you know, if there's one thing that I would say, one piece of advice that I would give you if you're about to get into card making, is don't beat yourself up if it doesn't look good to you, because somebody else will look at that and it will be the most beautiful thing they've ever seen. So, you know, just go for it. That's what I'm saying, basically. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy the videos, please do subscribe and like and comment and things. Do, you know, it's nice to hear what people are thinking. Next time I probably am going to come back with Crafter's Companion again. I am waiting on the Hunkydory Christmas kit. I suspect I'll probably get that Tuesday, Wednesday time. So it may well be that. I have also got the Diamond Member kit also to play with yet. So, but I am enjoying this Furry Friends one, so I may well come back with them again. There's still 2 more sheets of toppers. I've got all the papers, and there's Adorable Scoreable as well. So still plenty to play with. It's such a lot of value. The £12.99 pack. It's you know, it's huge value. Lots of playtime to be had. But thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. See you next time. Bye bye.